Last year, I read an article that said Belgian prosecutors are seeking to try ex-diplomat over his involvement in the heinous murder of Congolese hero Patrice Lumumba. The article reads as follows. Belgium is actively considering bringing criminal charges against the colonizer and former EU big cheese Etienne Davignon, who's currently 91 years old, for his role in the murder of Patrice Lumumba. A decision is due to be announced shortly. Now, this article, I read it last year in December, and now the tables have turned. They have come to a conclusion. They've reached a decision, and to be honest, it's 65 years too late. Etienne Davignon, a 93-year-old colonizer and former European Union Supremo, has been charged with complicity in the murder of Patrice Lumumba.
The assassination of Patrice Lumumba was one of the key events of the 20th century. It's an event, indeed a bloody murder, of the most gruesome kind that still has ramifications to this very day, both economically and, of course, in terms of actual human life, in terms of humanity. And the people who've paid for this more than anybody has been the people of the Democratic Republic of Congo. They've paid for it in unbelievable ways by the million load. And today, it has been announced that one of the key colonizers who was complicit in the murder of Patrice Lumumba, a gentleman called Etienne Davignon, who's a 93-year-old, one of the big, really big cheeses, founder big cheeses of the European Union, and a former diplomat, as they called him, he has been charged with complicity in the murder of Patrice Lumumba. This is good news. This is something you should welcome. This is something that should be celebrated by all people, by all decent, justice and freedom-loving people. That finally, these colonizers won't be able to sleep well at night. That they are finally being brought to justice after however many decades long. Justice delayed. We can only hope it does not lead to justice permanently being denied. But today, for Lumumba's family, for the people of the Democratic Republic of Congo, for Africans everywhere, it's a day for us to celebrate, and I genuinely celebrate with us all. Viva Lumumba, Viva Lumumba, Viva Democratic Republic of Congo.
I want to be happy, I really do. But with this case, with Patrice Lumumba, we failed as African people, as the international law, the UN, the EU, the African Union. We have failed. As people of this planet, we failed Patrice Lumumba. This is the case of justice denied. I know it's a bit late, but justice was denied if we think about it. He's 93 years old. Which prison time is he going to serve? Which punishment is he going to serve? By the time the trial starts, he'll be dead or medically induced his death to avoid going to trial. He might try to medically induce his death to avoid going to trial. Karma seems like something only black people are taught to fear. We are raised to be obedient, to stay in line, and to believe that if we step out, karma will come for us. We have, I don't even know how to say it. We have internalized karma, and we have lived cautiously as black people, almost submissively, because we think consequences are guaranteed for us black people. Meanwhile, white people don't move like that. They don't operate with this fear of karma hanging over them. And history shows it. Time and time again, they commit crimes, cause harm, and still come out on top, untouched. The system doesn't just fail to hold them accountable, it protects them. So it starts to feel like karma isn't some universal force. It feels like a belief used to control some people, black people, while others move freely without consequences. Etienne Davignon went on to live a comfortable life with a net worth of over $75 million after brutally killing Lumumba. Tell me, was justice served? Was karma actively working in this case? In September 1960, Etienne had written a telex stating that it was a primordial problem to remove Lumumba and achieve unity of the Congolese leaders against him. In a 2010 interview, Davignon denied that meant a call for Lumumba to be killed. He denied, saying that templates, what he said when he said it was critical that we unite Congolese leaders against Lumumba and get rid of him, it didn't mean it was meant to say kill Lumumba. It was not a call meant to kill Lumumba. That's what this man said in 2010 in an interview he gave back in 2010. But my question is, what did he mean it was a primordial problem to remove Lumumba? What did that actually mean? What did that signal? What did that symbolize in those days? The climate of 1960 states otherwise, guys, if we think about it. The climate, the environment, the atmosphere of 1960 states otherwise. When you give orders to remove someone, especially a black person during those oppressive days, it can only mean one thing. Etienne must not play with us. Etienne must not fuck around with us. He knows what he meant to say. The least Belgium can do is to give us this person's head when he dies so we can store it in a museum and watch it rot into a skull. That's the least Belgium can do. If they really are sorry, if they are really serious about giving Congolese, if they are really serious about giving Africa justice, then it means Etienne's head must be given to us on a spike when he dies, so we can store it in a museum and watch it rot into a skull. That can literally boost tourism, pump money into Congo, and alleviate poverty in the country, seeing the conundrum that is currently taking place. We deserve this. We deserve his severed head. Just like how an officer kept his tooth as a trophy after they've shot him multiple times, dissolved his body in acid to try to conceal the evidence, and then they took his tooth as a souvenir. We deserve Etienne Davignon's head. Yo. And after everything was said and done, guys, after Lumumba was killed in that heinous act, in that humiliating manner, after everything was said and done, you know what Belgium did? They just apologized. They just apologized. Like they've just stepped on a pile of dog shit and said, oops, sorry. That's all they can say. Sorry is all they can say. There's nothing to say after that horrific murder of that young man, of Patrice Lumumba. There's nothing to say. Guys, no amount of apologies, no amount of reparations, no amount of gestures will ease the pain. Because that pain transcended through time, by the way. Congo is where it is today because of that particular day in 1961 when they brutally murdered Lumumba. It had the pain, the torture, the oppression of the Congolese people never stopped, even today. And Belgium wants to say, sorry, like they stepped on a pile of poo. That's all they can say. There's nothing to say after that horrific murder of that young man, to be honest. It's crazy. Killed like a dog. As if he did not fight to give these people freedom and liberation, and it be his own people that did that to him. Killed like a dog. Televised in the global north. Kiki ha-had in European Union courts, European Union meetings. It was a joke to them. How he was murdered. They're disgusting. No amount of apologies can have ever erased that pain. And they know that very well. At this point, this child is a spit on our face. It just shows that justice will always be denied for black people. How he was killed? It's crazy how he was killed by the very same people he was fighting for. That video broke my heart. Congo is the heart of Africa and it's bleeding. That's why Africa is not stable and constantly being used as a piggy bank, a guinea pig, because we keep installing leaders like Mobutu that will betray their people in order to maintain power. They stole our futures and the Congolese people just stood by and let it happen. And that is why today they are in this mess. That's the reason why we are here, because of leaders like Mobutu that keep stealing our futures, changing the trajectory of our futures. Congo, right now, your ancestors in that video, they were complicit in this heinous act of violence. Those are your ancestors. Those were Mobutu's allies, watching and laughing and kicking hard while their brother is treated like an animal. The very same brother that went to Europe, to Belgium courts to fight for y'all, to fight for your independence, and to tell the king in his face that they are tired of being bled dry of their resources. They want to own everything. They want to own they want to own the Congolese land from top to bottom, even their minerals and resources. And that signaled the end of his life. That put a target on his back that day, and Mobutu was complicit in it. Congolese people, if you're watching this, if someone is from Congo or has an ancestor that is from Congo, your ancestors were complicit in this heinous act of violence. You know it. You know it very well. You know it very well. The reason why you're in this mess today is traitors like Mobutu that put you there. Congo will never receive its freedom. It has done Lumumba so dirty that this is a spiritual warfare more than it's economical. And unfortunately, traitors are everywhere in Africa. The CIA doesn't have to do much anymore. These traitors hunger and thirst for power, money, and fame. They thirst for the decoration of money and fame. Their thirst for power, money, and fame has driven them into insanity. Take Floyd Shivambu, for example. Floyd Shivambu, the former deputy president of the EFF party. He simply wanted to take Malema's position in the EFF, have voices within the party to discredit Malema so he could be voted out as president. Shivambu and his brother got involved in swindling money from a black-owned bank, the VBS Bank. I've made stories about it last year. When that bank collapsed, it collapsed. People lost their money. People were named in this bank heist, and EFF was on that list. What people fail to realize is that it was Shivambu that was involved in this heist, and he used his position in the EFF to protect his name while simultaneously dragging the EFF and Malema's name through the mud. Once Malema's name is dirty, no one will want to be associated with him. South Africa wants Malema's head on a pike. White people never liked Malema. So I wouldn't be surprised if they used his deputy, Floyd Shivambu, to get to Malema, to try to discredit and destroy Malema's radical voice. And Shivambu knew this. Shivambu is money hungry. He knew that working with the whites will eventually lead to Malema being ousted in the EFF, and he will take over as president of the EFF. And that plan failed dismally. It failed. So Shivambu spontaneously resigned from the EFF. He made sure it was public and humiliating. Malema was heartbroken and blindsided by this. Immediately after he resigned, Shivambu announced that he is joining Jacob Zuma's political party, the very arch enemy of Julius Malema. This act of betrayal shows that this man could have easily poisoned Malema, killed him even, because Malema was so comfortable in letting him around his family and kids and his house. He could have easily killed him. So the Mobutus of Africa, there are many. Africa has many Mobutus. Power-hungry hyenas lurk within us, disguised as freedom fighters. Pan-Africanism will never, ever, ever happen on this continent. Sorry to burst your bubble, Black Americans. It will never happen. The people on this continent hate each other. They are too tribalistic, too xenophobic, too stupid. Strippers of the white supremacists, as if it was not bad enough that they used to rape us. Now we just offer it to them. We just open our legs to them. Oh, Lumumba deserved better. At least at least hang him. At least do not arrest him in that manner. The humiliation. I can imagine, but he's a resilient spirit. If you've seen on that video, if you've seen the resilient spirit, he didn't care. He knew what he was dying for. And unfortunately, if you're African and you believe in ancestries and spiritualism, the African spiritualism, you know that when you've done someone wrong, if they've passed in that horrific manner, things will never go well in your life. That spirit will act as an angry ancestor, as a vengeful spirit. That's why Congo is where it is today, because they betrayed the one person that could have changed their lives forever for the greater good. The heart of Africa, Congo is bleeding and everybody's feeling it. So many traitors in this world, in this continent. What do you think about this segment? Comment to us in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and share the broadcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss these groundbreaking conversations right here on the African Diaspora News Channel.